Hello everyone and welcome to WhatCulture Gaming. My name is Jules Gill and I am joined by the only man who I would let upgrade my hard drive by force, Scott Haleford.
Why by force? Also hi? Or could it just be a nice little update, couldn't it?
You know what
by
that means?
Force?
If we're together, it can mean only one thing. It's time for some news. So hit that jingle.
Hot dang, there's news, give it all you got. I guess it's time for Jules and Scott.
Every time with the
know.
upgrading firmware
It is-
forcefully.
It is compressing my spine and I'm getting a bit shorter every day. But we're here today on this lovely Saturday morning to talk to you, brilliant people, about the possibility of having two new PS consoles coming further down the line.
Yeah, so Let's Go Digital, which is the same outlet that reported on the original, the blueprint or whatever, the leaked schematics. What's the word? Patent?
Yes.
For the PS5, that weird jetpack-looking thing that then turned out to be true. It was corroborated by various developers. Have also uncovered a patent for another PlayStation Portable, and it basically shows that it's going to be taking cartridges, which is weird initially.
I feel like you need to say that again, but with a bit more gusto, that there is a new PlayStation Portable.
Yes. Well, I love the PlayStation.
I know,
Vita.
but the people at home are just like, I'm sorry, what did you just...
Yeah, so another PlayStation Portable after the PSP, and then there was the revision of the PSP, the PSP 1000, then there was the PS Go, then there was the PS Vita, and all of them kind of tanked, even though the Vita is genuinely one of the best consoles ever made, Julian. But
now just put all of them on the table and then sweep them back off into the bin because we've got a new contender. Because this new one, we have no idea about the schematics in terms of like what the processing power is going to be.
Not yet, no.
But it has said, one of the features has said that it's going to be cartridge-based.
Yes, which is the same as the Vita, which is it's easy to forget. Like the Vita took little cartridges because the original PSP took UMD. That was back when Sony were just full of themselves, being like, oh, everybody will buy this new media format.
Yeah.
And we didn't, en masse, and it died. And then the Vita had its own, custom thing as well. But yeah, so the thing that's leaked is in regards to this new patent for a new portable PlayStation that would take cartridges, which is a cool idea. The thing that goes alongside that is that it would be 5G capable, as reported by T3.com last year, saying that Sony were looking into a portable that would be 5G capable, which lines up with all their new streaming platform plans and the Gaikai technology and PlayStation Now and whatever. So I think the overall thing is, what do you think of the idea of a portable PlayStation that could also just play PS5 games on the go?
Well, this is the thing. As you look into the Google Stadia with its sort of approach to sort of streaming on any sort of tablet or device,
It's not doing very well.
We'll leave them alone for a minute. And then we've got the Microsoft also trying to do their Xbox streaming thing, xCloud. Like, it makes perfect sense for them to get into streaming, albeit they weren't ahead of the game, but at least they can play catch up with the new console launches.
They were, but they didn't work. The Gaikai stuff kind of crashed and burned.
That's very true. But having the ability to go, okay, cool, I'm playing my copy of Skyrim on PS5 because I'm sure that edition will come out. I want to take that on with me and I'll go outside and play that as well. I mean, I'm totally game for it.
My thing with streaming, because you mentioned Google Stadia, is that Stadia continues to be a tire fire rolling down a hill. Like, it's ridiculous the amount of stuff that isn't going to be there at launch for the Stadia. But
12 games and 3 of them are Tomb Raider.
Yeah, most of them are old games, which is a kind of a separate thing. But even in terms of the things that Google Stadia have advertised, it aren't going to be there at launch. But regardless, the idea, the philosophy of game streaming, that's the thing that the industry is obsessed with right now. It reminds me of the same way that everybody thought that motion controls were going to be the future last generation. And I think that'll be out over time.
And Beat Saber is still here, doing very well.
Like one thing. But I mean, like...
Heresy.
PlayStation. No, that game's phenomenal. Okay. But that's a separate thing. PlayStation Now didn't work. PlayStation Move, didn't work. The Xbox Connect didn't work. Only the Wii managed to make it work.
Yeah.
So what if Game Pass is the only one that manages to make streaming tech work? Whatever, we'll see. But in terms of the philosophy of streaming stuff on portable stuff, one, I don't think it's possible because I don't believe that 5G network coverage is going to be the case on your average train journey. I just don't see that happening.
It also means that you're going to have to be carrying around a portable version of your PS5.
Yes.
Because if that is the case, if like, I always struggle with that because everyone's like, oh, you can play like the brand new Forza game on your phone. It's like, no, I bloody can't. Because the phone quality is like, the phone processing power is like not enough to turn on the bloody light on this thing.
You're not wrong, but in this case though, it will be streaming from your home
No,
computer
I totally
with
get
a ton of lag.
Yeah, I totally get, but that's the issue. That's where it comes in because it's like you have different like networks, different things working in different ways. Like there's even different ways that that phone companies like use transmitter signals, and Bluetooth is built in different ways, and there's all these different things that they are just going like, yeah, it'll just work.
Well, that's the thing.
What they've done is they bases it off of like, this will work in this one example, in this one hyper bubbleized thing.
The thing that we have to keep in mind with all this stuff, especially with Google, is that it comes out of the tech bubble in San Francisco.
Yeah.
All of the major tech companies are all within the same small geographical area in San Fran, where they're completely wired up and all their stuff just kind of works. And it's weird with Google Stadia because then, like, obviously, they can get the technology working in this small little bubble where everyone's connected and everyone has like 100 meg connections or whatever. But I don't think that applies to the rest of the country.
It's
or here.
It's like 300, 400.
Yeah,
over there,
it'll be something ridiculous, like 1 teraflop of connection or whatever, and it all just works. But as obviously with the notable skepticism around Google Stadia, that infrastructure isn't there.
But let's analyze. Let's take a step back for a minute, because the question's got to be asked. If this tech is so amazing, and the tech for the PS Vita was so amazing, and the PS Go and all the other ones, why did they fail? Now, a lot of argument could be placed on the fact that Sony didn't know how to market this, and also stepping into a market that is predominantly cornered by either mobile phone gaming or by Nintendo with their handheld consoles. How do you approach the market and say, look, we've got a brand new thing? They unfortunately hit the wrong price. I know that much because they priced it way up, and they've had a habit of doing that.
It's weird with the PSP because I've had all of these. I didn't know the PS Go, but I had the rest of them.
Yeah.
The problem with the original PlayStation Portable was that they didn't know how to differentiate it.
Yes.
It was just like, okay, here's every console game that you already have. Your Killzone, well, sorry, not Killzone. That was one that didn't do it. Smackdown, I remember being something that you could take across. The idea of taking full console games on the go. Either the market wasn't ready for it. It was a time before the Switch, but also like the general sort of fallback was like, well, why wouldn't I just keep playing on my big TV?
Yes.
I don't need portable, worse versions of games on the go.
So that's how that one went.
Yeah, and then but then they iterated and reiterated so many times with the same SKU. Like there was like 3 or 4 different versions of that original PSP, just like testing the market over and over again. Then the PS Go happened, and by the time they got to the Vita, which I will hand on heart say is one of literally one of the best portable consoles overall of all time, the average person was just sick of it, and it was just like, oh, stop trying with the PlayStation
also
Portable.
It was very expensive, and also they didn't have as much of a first-party launch lineup that was actually enough to suggest to move over there.
And also they had like a separate memory card thing. It was like this proprietary thing.
There's things that you've got to look at when you're launching any new product. It's like, A, does the market want it? They can look at mobile gaming and see that it's probably one of the most profitable things. It's most profitable than it's ever been. So yes, the market's ready in terms of that. Do you have the tech to deliver? Yes. If you are assuring people that they're going to be the same as PS5 and you're going to be able to play those things, then fantastic. It comes down to the price and the marketing of it. Because your public perception is, like you say, why am I going to spend £500 on the PS5 and an additional £450 for their mobile one? I just want the one. Like give me an incentive to have both.
And I think that in regards to, because another part of this report was that it's apparently being designed to go alongside the PS5, which I think is Sony's way of trying to combat the Nintendo Switch. Because they're not going to shift completely into a hybridized model, and the PS5 isn't going to have a dock and be that similar to the Switch. But if they bring back their portable technology, a Vita adjacent system with a 5G capability and maybe improved hardware specs and whatever, they can kind of tick that box of a full console experience on the go, and that lets them do that alongside it. But on the pricing side and the release side, you would need to have like a bundle deal. You buy a PS5 and you just get one, alongside it.
Or you'd have to have staged content that basically rolls out on the handheld version first to make sure that it's actually like an essential. Like if you've got the new Uncharted game, have like a demo or a shortened version that gets released on the streamable version first. So it's like, oh, sick, I'll play this.
Part of me thinks that they are falling back on the 5G streaming thing because that's their way of getting console quality games on the go. But the fallback is the network infrastructure, which brings you back to the whole point that I just don't think the average state in the US or like chunk of the country over here is even remotely equipped to stream a 60 FPS HD game smoothly. There's lag all the time, even if you're just playing on a reliable connection at home.
Don't get me wrong,
Never mind being on a train.
There are people out there who are like probably paying through the nose for it, and there is an option, but it's just you can't cater to the 1%ers. You actually have to like look at who is your actual mass gaming base, because otherwise they'll launch this as it will become like known as an elite like extra add-on, and then it will die because no one will want to support it because they can't.
Which is another thing in terms of the, like you said, the first party offerings. Like how much does Sony then create some games that only work on this portable thing? Is everything going to be hybridized? Because everything on the Switch is hybridized.
Because they just didn't have enough confidence with the PS Vita. The tech was there and ready to go. And they had their own like first party IPs, but they were just like
the Vita was so good.
But they were drip feeding content to it because they were like, actually, it will make more money if we just put it onto the PS4. PS4.
For the most part,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, so they need to have that confidence of being like, this is a clear divide in the library, and these will be standalone experiences that you will not be able to get anywhere else.
I'll tell you one thing that'll work really well, because one of the things that, like you said, Sony dropped the ball on advertising, is that the Vita can play like loads of PS1 games, loads of PS2 games, a handful of PS3 games, all from the PlayStation Store. But like you can just have it as a portable PS1 machine that also plays some PS2 stuff like Jak and Daxter or whatever, and it's great. It feels like this little portable, like powerful, all-in-one PlayStation. And the one of the mandates that they're going forward with on the PS5 is backwards compatibility.
Yes.
There's a way to roll that together and be like, look, take your entire PlayStation legacy with you on the go, stream it if you don't already have it on the console.
If they were clever about it, they would say that the PS5 would be backwards compatible for PS3 and PS4, but you'd make PS1 and 2 games exclusive to the handheld. Ooh. I know it would be a bit of a stinky maneuver because other people would be like, well, that's not too fun. But if they had that, then at least it would give it that sort
gives
of
you an incentive to bring them together.
Because then you would have your PlayStation family unit would be completed by these two consoles.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, going forward, it's weird. They've gone back and forward on the patent for it. Like Mark Cerny put the patent out there saying that it will play, like, well, it seemed to say that you'd be able to put any disc in from a previous generation and it would just work. And then with this thing, with the portable thing, it's cartridge-based and it's streaming-based and it's digital-based, digital downloads.
I'm still unsure about how it works. So, like, if we, just to get into the sort of like hypothetical, so say I'm playing a game on PS5 and I need to go out and like, but I'm going on a journey, I want to like play.
Yep.
So I've got to then upload my save to a cloud, download that save and the game onto my phone, or this console unit, and then how would it work?
The way it works on the Vita right now, because you can do this on Vita now. You can stream from your PS4 to your Vita. Like if you want to just go.
So you need to have your PS4 on?
Yeah, it puts it in like a different like rest mode, but it still beams it to your Vita, so I can go play Spider-Man upstairs in bed, but I leave my PS4 on downstairs.
Okay.
So it's basically a bigger version of that, but it's kind of like you're just beaming the feed, like you're beaming the visual feed to your system.
But they're insinuating with this one there, the move forward is that this is going to be like a rival to the Switch, as in you can take the entire thing with you and it will play if you're on a train or things, because you can't stream if I'm down in London sort of thing.
Well, that's the assumption, is that with 5G coverage being everywhere, it gets around the lag, the problems, and it just works. It's just that assumption. And
that's a very Todd Howard approach.
Yeah, I mean, it's me inferring the Switch comparison, but I think that's what they're going for based on how the market is. I mean, the Switch has taken off so much this generation.
Yes.
I mean, there's even rumors that like Microsoft are looking into a portable as well.
Well, why not? I mean, like it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's a proven success story.
Yeah. And it's like, I think in regards to PlayStation, they've tried and failed in the past with different PSPs. I think it's worth bringing back. Like, I like the idea of, like I said, like an all PlayStation in one from PS1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe some 5 down-res games or whatever, all on one little portable. That's a lovely idea. But I wonder how much, like, you know, they have to try and split it between like cartridge-based games to buy and stuff to just stream in. I think streaming services in general have so many hiccups.
They actually have the benefit of looking at the Stadia and seeing how that's going to perform and then adapting to it, because they've still got time until the PS5 is going to be released, and they've obviously got time until this has to go any further in terms of development. So they could literally just go, okay, what are the shortfalls of the Stadia? Does it even work in certain regions? No, it doesn't. Okay, let's limit what we can and can't do for it. It might just end up being just a glorified Netflix version of them.
Maybe. I think at this stage, like we know that it's coming in some form, or at least they've patented it enough to sort of sketch out what the cartridges would look like, and they've talked about this 5G thing. Like I said, it lines up with a report from last year from T3 saying that they were looking into 5G technology. So there is that. I think that it's weird, alongside all the stuff with the next PlayStation maybe being the last PlayStation, maybe they just go all out. This is the ultimate portable PlayStation and the ultimate home console PlayStation.
And then it becomes the one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe.
Well, there we go. Those have been some thoughts on the PS5 Vita, effectively, which could be coming out and being developed alongside
the PlayStation Switch.
The PlayStation Switch, yeah.
Eh?
As in switch off that and then stream on that. But there we go. Let us know down below what you think about all of this. Are you excited about the news of a handheld PlayStation that could potentially play all of your back catalogue of games and some new ones as well? Or are you entering with a bit of trepidation, thinking that this is just going to be bundled in as a gimmick, extra costs, and not going to be worth anyone's time? Let us know down below. As always, I've been Jules. You can go follow me at RetroJ with a 0 over on Twitter, and you can follow Scott at...
I'm at /LP89.
You are damn right he is. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you have a fantastic day, whatever you're getting up to. Speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.